Hello again. In part 2 of the trellis video, I am going to show you how to join your trellis squares together, and that's what creates these lovely little motifs in between the squares. And then when everything's joined together, we're going to add this border in moss stitch with the contrasting corners. Let's get started. We're going to start by joining the squares, and I've done this on the reverse with a double crochet seam, and I really like this join because it gives a really neat finish on the front and back. And I've done this by making all of the vertical joins first and all of the horizontal joins second, and there's a layout diagram in the pattern that will show you where I've made the joins. So I'm going to show you how to join the squares together, and I've got 2 squares here that I'm going to join, and I'm going to start by placing them right sides together. And I'm going to begin in the corner space. I'm going to join all the way along my pair of squares, and I'm just going to join 2 squares together. You will continue adding all of your pairs of squares and joining without fastening off in between each pair of squares. So I'm going to start with the cream yarn, and I'm going to join it through the corner spaces of both squares. And I'm going to chain 1 and then make 1 double crochet, that's US single crochet, in the corner space. And now I'm going to join the squares together by crocheting through the back loops only. And the back loops are the outside loops on each stitch. So if you look at the top of the stitch, it looks like a V shape. And the stitch closest to me and furthest away from me is the back loop. So I'm going to put my hook into the back loop of the first stitch and the back loop of the corresponding stitch on the other square and make a double crochet, and then the next stitch, and so on. And I'm just going to do this for all the stitches along the side of my square. And when you get to a colour change, just make sure that your stitches are lining up. So in this case, the 3 mistletoe stitches are joined to one another because this forms part of the trellis pattern and you want everything to be lined up. So here is my pair of squares I've just joined. And you can see that in my blanket, I've carried on by adding another pair of squares and double crocheting along without fastening off in between. And if I turn this over so you can see what the join looks like on the front, you can see that where I've double crocheted through the corner spaces, you get this really nice, interesting effect. And where I've crocheted in the back loops only, you get this framing effect around the edge of the squares. And all of the clusters are lined up. And that's what gives you the trellis effect running through the whole blanket, because all of the clusters are lined up. We're going to add the border now, and round 1 of the border is double crochet, and it is 1 double crochet in each stitch and also in each corner space where two squares join. I'm going to show you how to work the border on one square. I'm going to join my waterfall yarn in the corner space, and I'm going to one chain, two double crochet, two chain, and one double crochet to make the corner. And the reason that I've done one double crochet instead of two on this side of the corner is because I want to change the stitch count on each side from an even number of stitches to an odd number of stitches, and we need an odd number of stitches for the next part of the border to work. Now in the pattern it gives you instructions for making the blanket in different sizes, so you can make it larger, smaller, rectangle, whatever you choose, but the border will work for any size of blanket. You just need to make sure that the stitch count of each side, and this is important if you've got a rectangle, so a long side and a small side, you just need to make sure that the stitch count of each side is an odd number of stitches. That noise you can hear in the background is my cat scratching. Is she finished? She's finished, okay. So as long as you have an odd number of stitches on each side in this round, the next part of the border will work just fine. So after the corner, just going to make one double crochet in each stitch along the side, and remember that you will have multiple squares, so you also need to make a double crochet in each corner space where the squares join. And at each corner you're going to make two double crochet, two chains and one double crochet, so that you have an odd number of stitches. And it's a good idea to just count the stitches in this round just to make sure that they're an odd number before you carry on with round two of the border. That's my last stitch of round one, and I'm going to fasten off by slip stitching into the first double crochet. And if you're using US terms, this round is single crochet. There we go. Up till now I've been using my 4mm hook, but for round two of the border I'm changing to a 4.5, and the reason for this is that we are going to start doing some moss stitch, and this is UK double crochet or US single crochet with chains in between, and it has a tendency to get very tight and make your blanket curl up. So to prevent this, if you go up half a hook size, it keeps your stitches looser and you won't get that curling. So 4.5mm hook and cream yarn, and I'm going to join in a corner space and chain one, double crochet, two chain and one double crochet or US single crochet to make the corner. And so this time we only have one double crochet each side of the two chain in the corner, and then I'm going to chain one. I'm going to skip the first stitch, so that's this one here, and I'm going to make my first double crochet in the next stitch, and then chain one and skip the next stitch and make my next double crochet in the next stitch. And I'm going to repeat this all the way along the side, and at each corner I am going to one double crochet 2 chain, 1 double crochet in the corner space, and I'm going to do this all the way around the edge of the blanket. And here we go. This is what round 2 looks like when it's complete. For round 3, I'm still using the 4.5mm hook, and I'm going to turn my work over now so the wrong side is facing me, and join the waterfall yarn in a corner. I'm going to chain 1, 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet for the corner, and then I'm going to chain 1 and 1 double crochet in the chain space in the row below, and this is called a moss stitch. And then chain 1 and double crochet, US single crochet in the space, and I'm just going to do this all the way around. So a chain followed by a double crochet in the chain space, chain, double crochet, and in each corner space you are going to 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet to make the corner. I'm just finishing rounds 4 and 5, and they are just double crochet or US single crochet, and round 4 is done with the right side facing you, and round 5 is done with the wrong side facing you. And I went back to the 4mm hook for these because they're tighter stitches and it will just help your border to lay nice and flat. So that's my last stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch under the first double crochet to join and slip stitch into the corner space, and all of this is in the pattern. They're 2 nice straightforward rounds. Now before I carry on, before I did these 2 rounds, I wound myself 3 little balls of the duck egg yarn, and these weigh about 7 grams. And I'm going to use these for the contrast corners in the border. This is what they look like, and it means that I can work the contrast stitches in the corners using my yarn from the little balls without having to carry the yarn unnecessarily all the way around the blanket. So back to round 6, and this is moss stitch again. So I'm going to change back to the 4.5mm hook, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and in the corner space I'm going to 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet, and then chain 1, skip this first stitch, and then double crochet in the next stitch, and then chain 1, skip a stitch and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And I'm going to do this all the way around, and at the corners I'm going to 1 double crochet, 2 chain, 1 double crochet in each corner space. I'm coming to the end of round 6, and apologies for the light, the sun has just decided to come out. So I'm going to slip stitch in the first double crochet and slip stitch into the corner space. I'm going to 1 chain and turn, and I'm going to work my corner into the corner space here. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet, but this time I'm going to change to waterfall. So I'm going to start the stitch, and I'm changing colour the same way as I did in the granny square, but this time it's a double crochet or US single crochet rather than a treble crochet or US double. So I'm just going to pull through to complete the stitch with the waterfall yarn. So now I have waterfall ready to use, and I'm just going to drop the duck egg yarn to the front, 1 chain, and carry on in moss stitch. So that's double crochet followed by a chain, double crochet followed by a chain, and I'm working in the chain spaces in the row below. So I'm not carrying this duck egg yarn, I'm just going to leave this hanging down, and I'm going to work all the way along the side and carry all the way along until 1 stitch remains. So I have 1 stitch left on this side, and I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to take one of my small balls of duck egg yarn, and I am going to change to duck egg, and I'm going to change in the chain this time by just pulling a loop of duck egg through that chain. So now I have duck egg ready to use. I'm going to drop that tail, and I'm going to work my corner using the duck egg, but I'm going to work over the waterfall yarn so that that's in the right place when I want to change back to it. So I'm going to make the corner, so that's 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet, and I'm going to change back to waterfall in the pull through of this stitch. So waterfall to complete the stitch, so I'm ready to carry on using waterfall. And I'm not going to carry the duck egg yarn along, I'm just going to leave this little ball ready for when I come back round, and I'll pick it up when I'm going in the opposite direction. So now we carry on with the waterfall. So chain 1, skip the stitch and 1 double crochet in the next space. So then we're just going to carry on all the way along, and you're going to repeat this in the next 2 corners. So using the other 2 little balls of yarn, you're going to work these corners in the same way. So I'm at the end of round 7 now, and back at the corner space. I'm going to finish this round with 1 chain and drop the waterfall to the front, and I'm just going to bring the duck egg yarn across and change to the duck egg, because I want to use the duck egg for the contrast corner stitches, and round 8 is duck egg as well. So bring the yarn across and then slip stitch to join, and then slip stitch into the corner space, and then I'm going to 1 chain and turn, and now I'm going to work my corner stitches over this little loop of duck egg yarn that I've brought across to hide it, And I'm also going to lift the waterfall yarn up and crochet over it so that it's in the right place when I need it in round 9. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to lift the waterfall up and double crochet, 2 chain and double crochet. So now I've worked my contrast corner stitches. Waterfall is in the right place for where I need it in the next round, and this little loop of duck egg yarn that I brought across is concealed as well. Now we can carry on with round 8. So chain 1 and double crochet in the first chain space, and so on all the way along the side. And I'm going to carry on until I get to the next corner. So I'm nearly at the next corner. So here we are, double crochet in the last chain space, and here are my corner stitches, and this time I'm going to lift the duck egg yarn up, and this was from our little separate ball, and I'm going to crochet my corner stitches over it so that it's in the right place when we want to work the next round. So lift that duck egg up and make my corner over it. So double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet, and then drop that yarn from the little ball and carry on with the main yarn. So chain 1 and then double crochet in the first chain space and carry on with the moss stitch along the side, and you're going to repeat that twice more with the 2 remaining corners. So you can see now that we have the moss stitch in waterfall coming up to the corner, and then the corner is worked in duck egg, and then the moss stitch carries on in waterfall. And it's this that's going to create striped waterfall pattern with the contrasting corner. So this is the end of round 8, and I'm going to slip stitch in the first double crochet to join and slip stitch into the corner space. So 1 chain and turn, and I'm going to work my corner. So double crochet, 2 chains and double crochet in the corner space, and I'm going to change back to waterfall. So in the pull through of the double crochet, and I'm going to bring the duck egg to the side facing me, so I'm ready to carry on with my moss stitch. So chain 1, double crochet into the first space, chain 1, double crochet into the next space, etc. And if I just stop here and show you the corner, I'll show you the right side. You can see now that I have my corner stitches again in the duck egg, and I've changed to the waterfall. So now I have a new row of moss stitches starting. If I just show you on the blanket, you can see how the pattern builds with the rows of moss stitch and the contrasting duck egg stitches. So I'm at the next corner, so I double crochet 1 chain, and I'm going to change to duck egg and work over the waterfall. So one double crochet, 2 chains, and change back to waterfall in that double crochet. So bring the duck egg yarn towards me and complete the double crochet with the waterfall yarn, and then 1 chain and double crochet in the first space. There we go. And I'm going to repeat this twice more with the 2 remaining corners. So here I am at the end of round 9. And I'm back at the corner, so I'm going to chain 1, drop waterfall to the side facing me, going to change to duck egg, slip stitch to join, and then slip stitch into the corner space. And then 1 chain and turn, and I'm ready to start round 10, and round 10 is the same as round 8. So I'm going to lift up the waterfall and crochet over it so it's in the right place when I want to start the next round. So I'm going to double crochet, 2 chain, and then double crochet, and I'm going to drop the waterfall and then continue with the duck egg in my moss stitch. So chain 1, double crochet in the first space, chain 1, etc. So when you've completed round 10, rounds 11 to 16 are just rounds 9 and 10 repeated 3 times. So just repeat 9 and 10 3 more times, and that will bring you to here, and you will see the nice contrast stitch pattern emerging. And from now on, they're nice, easy repeated rounds, so you can just follow the pattern. Round 17 is the same as round 7, fasten off at the end of that one, and then round 18 I've gone back to the 4mm hook, so round 18 and 19 I'll just double crochet, and then the final round, round 20, I've changed to waterfall, and with the right side facing I've just worked 1 double crochet in each stitch and 1 double crochet, 2 chains, and 1 double crochet in the corners, and then fasten off and sew in all remaining tails, and your blanket is complete. And we're done. I really hope you enjoy making your trellis blanket, and I hope you'll come back and see me for some more crochet soon. Bye.